Hi, I'm Rachel. I work for a digital consultancy and I've been wanting to go on March for the Living for the past few years, mainly because it seemed to me to be an immersive trip. I didn't want to just go to Poland and experience it for a day or two. I wanted to get stuck in and learn as much as possible. So the final day of the trip starts and you have all this emotional build-up and you've visited Auschwitz and Birkenau previously, and then the next thing you know you're back at Auschwitz and we gather together with the rest of the UK delegation. So there were nearly 300 of us together at Auschwitz waiting to go on this march, and obviously because there are 12,000 other people from all over the world, you're just so aware that everyone is on this trip together and you're all waiting to go on the march. That's the reason that we're together on this trip. So we're waiting, we're all together, and then we suddenly start walking, and there's this amazing moment where you find yourself walking through the gates at Auschwitz together with people from all over the world. And I look up and I could see Aryeh, the Holocaust survivor, on our bus, walking defiantly with purpose as a survivor. And that's an image that I'm never going to forget. It was crazy how hot it was and how much energy everyone had, despite the fact that it's the end of the trip. There have been so many building emotions, and everyone still has the energy to march together and to sing, be happy, but also remember the trauma and the tragedy that is the Holocaust. As we carry on the march, I look up at one point and I could see a group of Polish citizens who were standing with the Israeli flag and chanting and singing and saying how thankful and grateful they were that we had all come to Poland to experience this march together. And that for me was the most emotional part of the trip. As we are approaching Birkenau, we can hear music blaring over the speaker system. I look up to see Aryeh singing along to the words. I realised that for him, more than anybody, this march is a chance for him to be proud and to be joyous, because he's here, he's a survivor, and we're still going strong, we're still thriving, and that is what the march is there to celebrate. Once we reached Birkenau, we all sat and had this ceremony that lasted for a couple of hours and was a conclusion to the trip. We heard from the President of Israel, we heard from the President of Poland, these unbelievable forces, as well as hearing from Holocaust survivors, from grandchildren of Holocaust survivors. And it's a moment where we come together as a people, not just as a Jewish people, but as a group of human beings who have overcome tragedy and who are still trying their best to learn from that tragedy and ensure that it doesn't happen again to anyone. The President of Israel made a comment about how genocide of any description is horrific, and that the learnings from the Holocaust need to be applied much broader than just to the Jewish people. For me, why I would recommend going on this trip in particular is because on my bus group I wasn't just with a group of fellow Jews, I was with people who were interested in learning about the Holocaust in general. I was with non-Jewish people who had decided to dedicate a week of their time to coming on the trip, and that made me realise that this is a human tragedy that everyone needs to learn about. So this trip, in essence, is a time to reflect, a time to learn, and a time to appreciate the fact that you might come from a slightly different background to the person sat next to you on the bus, but actually we're all here for the same reason. We all want to learn, we don't want to forget, and it's a truly immersive experience that I can't imagine being replicated as well anywhere else.